Well, I thought I'd give you a quick little review and show of these Elites or Elites electronic cigarettes vaporizers that I bought, because they're surprisingly good actually. Because a few people on YouTube suggested to me I try, an e-cigarette, because obviously it's far less harmful than tobacco, but you still get the nicotine from it. And I said initially I wasn't going to do it because I thought it would be too easy, to smoke this too much and then get addicted to nicotine. But I thought I'd risk it, and I found so far I can smoke this a lot, and yet I have no nicotine withdrawal symptoms when I'm not using it. So that's all good, and I still don't actually have the urge to smoke anymore, so that's good. I mean, I never really had an urge to smoke anyway, but you get it even less now with this because you're getting the nicotine from another source. So I've tried to put it back in its box as much as it comes when you buy it. I'll show you what's in there. So this is just a menthol refill pack. I haven't opened it yet because these cartridges actually last ages. So what we've got in here is, here's the box. It's made to look a bit like a Marlboro cigarette carton. Inside you've got a USB charger. This is the battery unit. And you've got two of these cartridges. This is the one I've already been opening and smoking. Or vaping, more correctly termed. So basically how it works is, this is the battery unit with a little green LED on the end, and you screw the cartridge or cartomiser into the bottom of it, and when you draw through it, the light lights up on the battery heats up the atomizer in there, which turns the nicotine gel with the other stuff in to make the sort of fake smoke into basically air, moisture, air vapor, and then you inhale that, or just blow it into your mouth to get the nicotine. And it's been surprisingly good. I'll demonstrate smoking it in just a moment, but I've heard from a lot of people that said that these aren't very good, and to be fair, they do seem quite good, but this is probably a later model than a lot of the reviews are on YouTube of it, so I'll show that off. At some point I've already ordered one of getting the actual sort of big proper vaporizer, sort of e-cigs, and you can refill with whatever flavour, sort of a nicotine strength you want, so I'm going to try one of those as well, and I can compare one of those to this when that arrives to see which produces the more vapour. Anyway, I'll demonstrate this now. Right, here we go. So this is the cartridge I've already opened. You simply screw the cartridge into the end, like so. And then I just keep this cap on it most of the time to keep the end clean that you inhale through. And it simply works by, you drag on the cigarette, and then it pulls the, sort of heats everything up and pulls it into your mouth. So as you can see, there's actually a decent amount of vapour with this, because I've heard a lot of reviews where people say that these don't produce much, but if I do it with inhaling this time, yeah, there's quite a lot of vapour you get on this. Each of these cartridges is meant to be the equivalent of 40 cigarettes, so I'm still on the first one because I'm not a heavy smoker anyway, I'm a very light smoker. But yeah, this is really good because you get essentially, and I said this in another video, I found that nicotine is very useful for me for self-medication purposes, and if you Google that, there's actually loads of illnesses and things where nicotine's been proven to be useful for it, but obviously tobacco is bad. And that's why I mainly smoke a pipe, because it's the least harmful of all the tobacco types, or at least the way of taking tobacco, but you still get the benefits of nicotine. With this you get the benefits of nicotine, and it's not harmful because all that's in there is, I think it's called propylene glycol, which is the chemical they use to produce the vapour. And propylene glycol is in loads of things, so it's not like you haven't had it in your body before. In loads of fast foods and everything, and there's no evidence at all to point out if you have it in anything other than absurd quantities you'll get ill. And with the nicotine as well, it's easy to avoid nicotine sickness because you don't use it. If you start feeling lightheaded, you stop using it. So it's a really good little thing. The only thing I will say is this is meant to be tobacco flavoured, and it doesn't really taste like tobacco. It's not an unpleasant taste or anything, but there's not really much to it. So what I'm going to do So as I said, I've got the big E sort of cigarette, the vaporisers coming, and then what I'm going to do with those is, you know, try filling those with the sort of fruit flavour, like, you know, cherry and all those bubblegum type things, and see how I get on with those, because I think they'll taste better, because I think the problem with this is they can't really emulate a emulate a tobacco taste properly, but at the same time it's still pleasant enough to smoke. So yeah, I'd recommend one of these. I'd be interested to know how any sort of heavy smokers have got on with them, because what I've heard from e-cigarettes is they're very good for helping people quit. Said I'm not going to stop taking nicotine because I find it's very useful, but if anybody is trying to actually quit smoking, this could be very good for them. So thumbs up for this. They're only about 20 quid to get a starter pack from supermarkets or wherever they sell them. So I definitely recommend the e-lights.